Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Ted Caleris, Superintendent for the Brooklyn City Schools. You are listening to the first ever podcast for the Brooklyn City School District, Conversations with Superintendent Caleris. Purpose of this is to really get everybody acquainted with and familiarized with some of the great people we have in the district. A shout out to Mayor Ron Van Kirk, who started his podcast earlier this year. I thought it was a great idea, and just looking forward to this next venture in communication. I have with me Dave Wallace.
Hello.
Our Director of Systems and Instructional Technology, and Mr. Bobby Black, our Technology Specialist for the district. And these two are the dynamic duo for all things technology and communication in the district. And so shout out to both of them for even making this podcast happen. Let's start with Dave. Dave, tell me a little bit about yourself. We've worked together for almost a decade now, but tell me a little bit about you, your journey, and how you found yourself coming to Brooklyn City Schools.
Yeah, I've been in IT for approximately 19 years now. Everywhere from a part-time technician all the way up to the director of IT here at Brooklyn. Always had a passion for technology. Started in 8th grade, helping out students with how to use technology, and then just moving up and moving to the ranks. So that's sort of how I got started. I went to North Carrollton Schools, and during that time period went to Cuyahoga Valley Career Center, where I got some more advanced training in technology and how things work. Then attended Tri-C after that, and Cleveland State. Along with that, just some variety of certifications, just on top of that. But now here I am, and looking forward to making things better here.
And our technology guys don't often get all the love, so to speak, and they usually like to be behind the scenes. But we have Mr. Bobby Black here, and rumor is that Bobby was a student when I was a high school teacher, athletic director at Brooklyn High School many moons ago. But I often refer to Bobby as Mr. Brooklyn because of all the things he does in the district. So Bobby, tell us a little bit about your Brooklyn journey. You've really never left, but tell us a little bit about you.
Came to Brooklyn in 90 for kindergarten, and like you said, never really left. Graduated and then kept coming back for marching band, helping with marching band and drama club. And then in 2014, applied for this position and got it. So Dr. Caleris made me full-time, which was awesome. Meant I could quit my other job.
Tell us about some of the, because you're not just our tech guy. Like you live and breathe Brooklyn City Schools.
Yeah. So in the fall, I'm spending 10 weeks. Well, starting in July, I'm spending 10 weeks helping out with the marching band as assistant director. And once that's over, but also driving our marching band to away games because I am also a bus driver. And then once the winter comes around,
musical, yes,
dude,
the
yes.
musical.
The musical, I start helping with the musical, and then once that's over, we go right into graduation. And
there's really never an off season for either of you. And I think over the last 10 years, so to speak, technology has become such an integral part of student and staff success. Tell me a little bit about your vision in terms of technology, how we incorporate in the district, and just really some of the supports that you guys do on a day-to-day basis with both our kids and our staff.
Yeah, certainly. The whole idea is to get technology in students' hands and make the classroom environment more inviting, giving the tools and the resources for the students to use there. With that, we put Chromebooks in all of our students' hands, K through 12. We have iPads in pre-K, so students can get those motor skills. We have Promethean boards in classrooms where students can go up to, get up out of their seats, go up to the board and actually interact in front of the class and, do interactive activities. And so the whole idea was just to get technology in the students' hands and make them accustomed to using it.
Mhm.
Bobby, what do you think? Tell me about some of the things you think in terms of your role as one of our technology professionals in the district.
Just keeping the building going day to day, updating Chromebooks, fixing them and updating them, um, and then getting ready for next year. It's April. We started doing that in January, getting ready for next year, for technology we're bringing into the school.
One of our big projects that we have going on in the district is related to the renovation. We've also been doing a lot of work at the district main campus in terms of just updating many of our systems. Can you both talk a little bit about some of the work that is behind the scenes in terms of preparing the new Brooklyn Early Childhood Center to open in September, but also making this district campus a safer, more inviting environment for our student staff and really visitors to the district?
Yeah, so everything comes down to a strong infrastructure. We want to make sure that our backbone to our network and our systems here is strong and reliable. Because if one big system goes down, everything goes down. So we've been doing a lot of focus on our infrastructure, making sure equipment is up to date, especially with the new early childhood center. We had some old fiber optic lines we had to update, which will be happening soon. But we were basically looking at making sure we have a strong infrastructure for everything. Throughout the campus, we've been adding surveillance cameras. We've been doing access control to restrict access to certain parts of the areas. But also looking at our wireless and our networks here, saying, do we have the capacity to support these students and what they're doing on a day-to-day basis? So we look at everything with a holistic approach and making sure that we can support what we do here.
You two work together, basically on a day-to-day basis. I walk down there often, and you two are busy doing lots of different things. Tell me about your working relationship with each other and your interaction on a day-to-day and kind of how that works.
Mr. Black, would you like to start?
Well, it is nice being just a two-person department. It's just the two of us, so there's not having to go through many multiple different layers of getting messages across. If something's going on, I can just walk right next door, or sometimes just call them on the phone, even though it's right across. But yeah, it's nice being just two people. Or
Mr. Wallace?
Yeah, I agree. Just being very close in a small school district is huge. Um, we communicate on a daily basis with what's going on in the district, and then we also sort of talk about future plans and what do we see, what problems do we see, what issues do we need to solve, and where do we want to go with things. So we communicate every so often on that and try to make things better.
Before we wrap up here, one quick question is, I would like to hear from you, and I think both of you have different perspective on this. Bobby, you've been here for 30 something years. Dave, you've been here almost 4 or 5 years now. I've been in the district since 2001. What does it mean to be a hurricane in your mind, and how does our vision really incorporate into your professional and personal work?
Yeah, I just look at our core beliefs. Our tradition, pride, excellence. We're a small school district, so we need to preserve the tradition that we have here, while moving forward with things that we do, and just making sure that we are excellent with everything we do. How can we raise the bar with what we do here to make our students stronger when they ultimately leave?
Mr. Black?
being here, I've noticed that there are a ton of alumni here who are working here in as teachers, and there's they call it the Brooklyn bubble. I don't like the bubble. I think that's negative, but I there is something about um, the community here.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the inside jokes and funny things in terms of our tech department. If I need something, I always call Dave or Bobby, and one of the first things they say to me is, if I have an issue with the computer or something, did you try turning it on or off? And It works, and usually that works. But I will say that these two professionals here are integral to the success of our district, our students, our families, and I really appreciate both of them being the guinea pig, so to speak, on the first edition of our district podcast. Couple reminders, spring is a busy time for the district, and we have many activities throughout the spring. So please make sure you subscribe to your building principals newsletter. Again, thank you, gentlemen, for being the inaugural guests on our podcast. Dr. Ted Caleris here, Superintendent for Brooklyn City Schools. I will talk with you soon. Go Hurricanes.